What's up, y'all? It's J Money, aka Jayani Smith, back with Get With It, the podcast brought to you by the iconic Basketball Bible Slam and WSLAM. What's up, Cam? How you feeling?
Listen, it's here. It's another week. I feel like so much is happening. I mean, I gotta kick it off with I'm live from Puerto Rico. I'm back with my family.
We love to see it.
I got to see Benito in Puerto Rico for his kickoff tour, for his stadium tour that's about to start. And he did 3 shows live at the big arena here.
How was that?
There is nothing like that. I'm telling you, your favorite artist could never. Like, Drake does not do this. Maybe the closest that I'll give to is Beyonce.
Okay.
But what I'm telling you is crazy. There's 3 shows, right? The first show, Thursday night, was the first ever live streamed consecutive, no commercials, concert on Telemundo, which is like obviously the big, Spanish network here in Puerto Rico, but they streamed it in Miami. They streamed it in some of the Telemundo channels in the States. So then not only that, but he hosted, because obviously the tickets were, tickets, by the way, were only in-person pickup. You couldn't buy them online prior.
Those lines.
People waited 16 to 24 hours, sometimes like crazy shit, in line to get those tickets. But what he ended up doing is he did, I think it was like 10 live streams at different locations across the island. I went on Thursday to one of the live streams. There was at least 10, I would say 8 to 10,000 people at the live stream.
So he literally had the whole island turned up.
It was some of the crazy, I have never seen anything like that. I really don't think any artist in the world can do what he, does what he does. You know what I'm saying? From top to bottom, from this to that, it's crazy. Just the amount of love that they have for him. And it's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine. They're like, I don't really get the cult that is. And I'm like, it's not really a cult. It's just really the pride.
They really love, yeah.
Well, it's just the pride. Think about it. Spanish is technically the second Spanish. They're speaking language and the most spoken language in the world, right? But he's the #1 streamed artist. You know what I'm saying? There's something about the pride of being not only Latina, which is me, but then also Puerto Rican even more so. We're this little island in the middle of the ocean that, produces hit artists. And not only that, but global superstars. He's starring in a movie with Brad Pitt. There's something really cool about that. And then to be able to go to his concert on Saturday, the last one he did, that man, I don't know what he's on. I don't know what he's doing, but that man, I don't know how he makes it, because it was a 3-hour and 40-minute show nonstop.
Just him?
Just him. He had just him. And he had features. Come on, just him. The show started at 10:30. We got out of there at 2:10.
We can't even get 20 minutes out of artists for headliners.
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And he's selling out stadiums of 50,000 people in the States, which is the tour he's about to go do. So it's insane. And not only that, but he literally partied after that, and then flew to LA for his movie premiere. I don't know how that man is standing.
Yeah, whatever he has is on. I don't know, but maybe I need some of it, because I go to sleep no matter what time it is, and I still wake up tired. Drink iced coffee, I'm still tired. Make it make sense. The math is not mathing.
The math is not mathing. And it's so funny. I saw so many memes of from the Thursday night concert, because no one knew how long it was going to be, right? We're all just expecting.
There, you just show up.
We're expecting 2 hours, 2.5 hours, like a normal show. I kid you not, at 1 a.m. when he goes, seguimos, which is he keeps going is what it translates to. Let's keep going. I swear to God, I was like, no, please, dear God, let this, obviously yes, but I'm tired. My feet
ready
hurt.
To go home.
I
want to go.
No, literally, that was the TikTok I was seeing. I was crying, laughing. That was literally me. I was like, how is this man going here? But and then the little Miss Benito got a little spicy with it after his last concert. Oh man, we don't need to talk about it, but my whole TikTok filter is all filled with him, and that man
screaming. Listen, every time I see a TikTok, and I probably should be ashamed to say this, but I don't really listen to Bad Bunny, but anytime I see a Bad Bunny TikTok, I'm automatically sending it to you every single time. I just know. So I can only imagine what your algorithm looks like.
I know. And it's funny because people just like, I always say, and there are people that don't speak Spanish at all that like his music. And I'm like, if you just knew what he was saying, like it just would make it so much more lit. Like you would just be way more into it. Cause it's such a fun artist to get to watch. And I'm so prideful that, he's putting on for the island and he stays here. Like he never left here. Like, yeah, he could have moved to the States. He's a millionaire. Like he's the best artist in the world. And he's like, nope, I'm staying in my little home.
Does anybody know? I was about to say, does anybody know what his estate looks like in Puerto Rico, or is it?
I don't know. Actually, I gotta ask around. I don't know where it is, but I'm sure people know because it's funny because he's actually my age. So some people my age that I grew up with ended up knowing him just through high school or through going to school with him and whatnot. So I don't know though. I'm interested. I'm like,
let me do some digging.
Listen, Bad Bunny, let me be on your marketing team because like your marketing team is with it. They get it. They get it.
Hire my mans.
But it was a really great way to spend the weekend. But I'm tired. I'm still recovering.
You need some iced coffee.
I need a little iced coffee, all that good stuff. But and something else that just happened this week, we just started announcing our Slam Summer Classic rosters. Really excited. We're bringing back Slam Summer Classic, the iconic game. This year it'll be at Rucker Park on August 20th.
Say, you know how excited I was when I heard that because I was literally just asking about that last week. I'm like, where's it going to be at?
I know because Dykeman's under construction. So for those who don't know, that's why we ended up switching the game over to Harlem at Rucker Park. Rucker Park's the other iconic court. I mean, like we've seen Kevin Durant show up there. We've seen the best of the best just show up there who played their best game. So I mean, listen, it's gonna be a great one. I'm very very excited. And we started with some of the first names this week. We've got Juju Watkins. We've got Malaysia Phil Wiley, a lot of great names that, hey, are going to be some of the best.
Jaden Donovan.
I'm really excited. Jaden Donovan, very,
I'm always putting on for the crib.
And another big thing that happened this weekend, we had Slam Summer Classic announced. We started announcing our rosters. We're really excited. We're bringing Slam Summer Classic to Harlem this year at Rucker Park.
I'm super excited. I was just talking about that last week. So when I saw that announcement, I'm like, we lit. We live, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's exciting. Dykeman's under construction for those who don't know. So, we're moving it over to Rucker, which Rucker's just as,
iconic.
Iconic.
Yeah,
we've got some of the best of the best players that have, showed up there. So listen, I'm hyped for it. I know it's going to be a great weekend. We've already announced some of the few first names. Juju Watkins, Malaysia Phil Wiley, so many. And we got a special guest later in this episode that, might be hooping in that game on August 20th. So
and we can't forget Jaden Donovan. I'm always shouting out the crib.
Yeah, shout out DMV,
Yeah,
Exactly. So we're really excited for it.
Yeah, and I mean, just talking about, exciting / stressful things that we have to go through in life or that we experienced in this past week. Talk about throwing a surprise party. I gotta throw that out there.
I don't even want to think about it.
We threw a surprise cookout for my cousin for her 25th birthday this past weekend. Not to mention, this is true, diva behavior because her birthday was a month ago. June 21st to be exact. We're throwing a surprise party July 30th. But when I tell you the amount of stress that we went through to try to get that thing done, it was a pink and white theme. So everybody had to come in pink and white, which was super cute. When everyone showed up, it was super cute. But trying to figure out how we're going to get her in a pink and white outfit, how we're going to not have her at home for oh, I'm so glad it's over. I mean, if any of my friends want to throw me a surprise party, have at it. But I think I'm out for the count. Don't sign me up for any more. I'm just showing up like everybody else.
Yeah, I'm just there. I'm just there for the vibes.
Yeah,
I don't need to be.
Just
I don't need to be on
vibes.
the planning committee. I don't need to be. I'll make the playlist. I'll give you that.
Yep. I might even throw in a couple guests for the list too.
Yeah,
but don't put count me out.
I hear that. Listen, surprise parties are stressful. You got to make sure everybody's on the mark,
on time. Yeah.
What time do you have to tell them for everyone to show up on time?
So we got lucky because it was originally supposed to start at 6. She was supposed to get there at 6:30. Well, we couldn't figure out anywhere else for her to go, so we just told her to go to work. And so she didn't get off till 7. So it bought people some time. But there were still a couple people that were running down the driveway when she was she's pulling up, she's parking, she's about to be here. So, people can't be on time.
No.
So
I mean, you got to tell me an hour before if I'm honest.
Literally. I mean, me
I'm
too.
on Puerto Rican time.
I still wasn't on time, but I was earlier than her, so that's all that matters. But
that's all that matters. That's all that matters. To say, you made it. That's all that matters. And in some right before this, we're just recording actually, and why we ended up being a little bit late to our own recording. Awful news. We just, saw the news of Paige Becker's torn ACL. Heartbreaking. I mean, she's out for the season now. I'm gutted for her. I know, she's worked so hard to get, back healthy to where she was at this point. It's really hard. But I know there's no one, stronger than Paige. And I tell everyone this and including, her and in this message, but, sometimes we may not even see what the plan is, but God always has a plan. And so listen, just, prayers up to P. We wish you the very, very best, your family here at Slam. And, we can't wait for the comeback because it's going to be scary.
Yeah, the comeback is going to be scary for real.
Nah, 100%. Well, getting into some of the stuff going on in the W this week, we're getting into that playoff race. We got about 10 days left in the regular season, 11 days left in the regular season. It's getting tight.
It's real tight. It's real tight.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous.
I know, me too. We got 5 teams confirmed, we got to talk about the 5 teams confirmed and compare them to the lists that we had earlier this year.
Yeah,
right?
I gotta do better keeping up with my Post-it notes because they're probably somewhere around here. I don't know. They probably fell off, but
they're somewhere.
No, just kidding. I thought that I may have found one.
Well, the 5 teams confirmed though are Chicago, Vegas, Connecticut, which those 3 were never a surprise to me. Those were kind of locks. Washington, who ended up in the 4th spot. Shout out the Mystics.
Them last
like a month and a half. They had a great.
Yeah. But I was gonna say these last 3 games have been tight. I think it was the 2 games, Saturday and Sunday versus Seattle, and then was it just last night against Vegas? Like they're not playing around right now. If this is the, I don't know if you want to call it the peak because we don't need them to fall back down, but if this is the direction they want to be heading in going into the playoffs, I'm with it because we never got to have our parade. Yeah, we never got our parade. So like, if y'all want to make another long playoff run,
listen,
championship,
playoff bound, and that's what it is. So, so when all that matters. And rounding out that 5th spot, Seattle, another team that I didn't really doubt making it. I do think I actually expected them to be ranked a little bit higher, finish off the season a little bit higher, and they might potentially still. Rankings can still fluctuate and seeding especially, but 5 strong teams in the playoffs already. But hey, there's 3 spots left.
3 spots left, and 4 teams only separated by 1 game.
That's crazy.
It's about to get real scary.
We're
about to be some great basketball.
I know, and I cannot wait. We've got Dallas, Phoenix, New York, and LA all separated by 1 game. I mean, talk about the competition in all 4 of those teams.
It's given any given Sunday.
Monday,
Tuesday,
Sunday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Nah, exactly. And so who do you think of those 4 are going to make it? Like, who would you put to round out those last 3 spots?
I'm going to have to go with Dallas, Phoenix, New York can just be so flip-floppy sometimes.
I know, man. I know.
Sabrina
has been on
showing off. So I might have to put New York in there.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little torn too because I think LA, sans Liz, I think they're finding their flow again. And so I'm kind of interested to see. But if I'm honest, I would go Dallas, Phoenix. I think I would actually go Dallas, New York, Phoenix. Like, I think that's how it'll end up shaking out. I think New York could have a really good last stretch in this regular season. Kind of wait, who are they playing last in these last few? Let me look real quick. So they play the Sparks today, which that'll be a good game, a playoff contention, playoff spot on the game, on the line. So they have a back-to-back with,
of course, my T-Mobile service.
So they're back to, I got T-Mobile too, girl. Sorry, T-Mobile. Wait, we're going to cut that out, actually. Sorry. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Just in case they want to sponsor us.
Just kidding. They sponsor Puerto Rico, so I'm sorry. Just kidding. Anyways, they've got a back-to-back with the Sparks. So they won against the Sparks on Tuesday. They play the Sparks again tonight. They've got Phoenix. They're playing all the bubble teams. They're playing Phoenix.
They're really about to have to duke it out
on Saturday, and then they're playing the Wings and a back-to-back on Monday and Wednesday, and then they finish out the season in Atlanta. Woo! It could be. Listen,
it could go any way.
It could go any which way, but It's hard because I need a little bit more from the bigs in New York. So I'm hoping, that they can put together a solid, performance and close this thing out. Because I feel they've got a great opportunity for sure.
Definitely.
So New York, I'll put New York in there. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but you have Dallas, New York, Phoenix. I'm still gonna go with Dallas, Phoenix, New York. Okay. By next episode, I'm gonna have my board up so that we can keep it running. Here. Yeah, exactly. For the playoffs.
Exactly. We gotta, have these on lock, obviously, for us. But it's gonna be an exciting playoffs. I'm excited. When we get, we have closer to the teams finalized, likely next week, we'll do a little prediction on who we think will make it, all that fun stuff. And we're gonna start getting into playoff talk for sure starting next week because teams are locking out. And I'm excited to see, is there gonna be a Cinderella story, who's gonna make the finals and all that good stuff. Because it's really anyone's game at this point.
It is.
Yeah. And Vegas and Chicago look great, but any given Sunday really is all it's about, so we'll see who makes it. But, talking New York, Sabrina, man, a breakout year for her. I think
she's going crazy, bananas.
It's her first healthy year. How many consecutive 30-point games has she had, or 30-point games in general this season? Triple doubles. She's doing it all.
I was about to say, I can't even count, but what was that? Was that last night or 2 nights ago? I don't know. When she's scored 30 points and the game wasn't even over yet. It was only the third quarter.
No, 100%. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to get this mixed up, but I know there was one game she shot poorly. She didn't shoot very well. She had 16 assists. Yeah, it was to Natasha. It was Natasha Howard's big night. That was, I think against the Mercury, maybe. I can't remember, but she had 16 assists. So for someone who can, I'm looking at it right now. She
can do it all. Yeah,
she knew. And listen, it takes a lot for a player to be able to be all right, it's not my night. How do I get involved in another way? She had a near triple double. She had 10 points, 16 assists, 8 rebounds. But she shot badly. But hey, she knew what she needed to do. And at the end of the day, that's what got the job done.
Yep.
You can't blame her for that. That's what the greats do, right? So real excited for her. I'm excited. That's why I really want New York to make it into that, find one of those final playoff spots, because I think they could have some fun in those early matchups. And this year we only have one single elimination round. So hey, we're gonna make it. I'm excited. I'm excited for the playoffs. I'd love to be in Brooklyn for a playoff game. That's the goal. I'll be back there for the playoff time. So hopefully, hey, Liberty there for it.
And I'm gonna have to make it out. I think I've been to 2 or 3 Missy's games, but should be more. So
you got it. You gotta make it to one of these. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and we gotta close out before we get into our guests and all that fun stuff. Chelsea Gray,
the point guard.
The point guard.
I don't know if we've
king, everything.
I don't know if we've ever seen anything like this before. Maybe Harlem Globetrotters or something. I don't even know if that.
For those of you who didn't get a chance to see it, Chelsea Gray hit a behind the back inbound pass
Nasty.
in a game. She made it look too easy and casual too. I don't think I've ever in my basketball, men's, women's, anything. I don't think I've ever seen something like that.
She might as well threw it off the back of her head or something. And right? I don't even know.
Some crazy. That was some crazy shit. Listen, that is why she's the point god, point goddess, point ever. Listen, she is one of the greats of this game. And the world's getting to see it.
Yeah, she continues to prove it.
We've been new, but for those who didn't know, now you know.
Now you're put on notice. Yep.
Get with it, because listen, I'm excited for Vegas in the playoffs this year. I think this could be their year. I feel like I say that every year because they always end up putting together a really strong roster, but I think they're kind of getting back to their flow. They struggled a little bit going into the playoffs. So going into the All-Star break this year. So I'm hoping that, we talk about ascension, right? And kind of getting your things together before the playoffs. Now's the time. It is kind of that time to start, those final tweaks, perfections to make it all, work out. Cause hey, Vegas is they're that team, man. They got the skill.
They got all the pieces together there.
And shout out Chicago too, though, because Chicago for a team that lost a piece, they obviously added a tremendous piece in Emma. But hey, they've been playing wonderfully, incredible basketball. I'm really excited to see. Listen, who shakes out this year in the playoffs?
Yeah, y'all let us know when y'all tuning in. who y'all have who y'all have who y'all have for these last 3 spots, actually.
Let's start there. Let's
who y'all have for your last 3 spots.
Exactly.
But super excited. I mean, we talked about it a little bit before, announcing some of our Slam Summer Classic roster. We got a special guest joining us today, the Jada Williams. Super excited to have her join us, and let's get right to it.
Let's get it. What is good, y'all? We have a special guest with us today, the one, the only Jada Williams. What's going on, Jada? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
Hey, we're so excited to have you here because, we had a big announcement yesterday. You had an even bigger announcement on Monday. Like, you got a lot going on. How you been?
I've been good. I've been just living life. School's about to start, so trying to do all that. But other than that, I'm good. Excited to be home and back in the country, really.
Yeah. Because, you just finished your time at USA Basketball. Talk to us a little bit about that experience, what it was like, bringing home another gold with, Team USA on your chest.
Yeah, so it was a little bit different this year. We didn't have as much like COVID protocols as we did in Mexico, but it was definitely way different. The teams are really, really good. Like France and Spain were like, they have pros over there. It's like playing against some WNBA players, really, really physical. But FIBA basketball is amazing. Being able to represent your country is something that not a lot of people get to do. So I feel like we didn't take it for granted this year, because I feel like last year was COVID. We didn't really get to do everything. So we're like, it wasn't like a real USA like experience. So we kind of got to it for granted last year, I would say. But this year we definitely I met the whole Australian team, super cool with them. We're trying to get something set up in Australia. Some really good people. I gave up one of my jerseys and the girl started crying. And so to me, that is just bro, it's much more than just basketball. Like, people are actually watching us from the United States. Like, people are trying to move here and stuff. So being able to play with those 3 letters across your chest and being able to sing the national anthem before you play the game, and being able to for me, being a young Black female, playing basketball, it's important that I get my message across. And I feel like me representing and all the other girls on the team representing, we get to stand for what we believe in. And so I think we're representing the country that we want. We want to change the country, the way people look at our country. Like, we're talking to Australian girls and they're talking about guns and stuff. And they're like, we don't want to go to America because it's all guns. And I was like, that's how you see us? That's how you see it. That's bro, that's not what we want to be known for. So it's I feel like we get to be we're representing the whole country, and there's only 12 people on the team. So it's we have a lot of responsibility. And I think it's a super challenging position that you're in, but also at the same time, it's amazing to be able to put they're looking at us thinking everyone in America is just like us. So we have to be on our best game, really. But at the end of the day, we had a really, really fun time. I became close with a lot of people on the team. Like I said, I met all the other teams, being able to talk to Japan and Korea, using a translator, making TikToks. I have no idea what they're saying. But I think overall, Hungary was an amazing experience. We also went to Spain. So both places, I'm a picky eater, so that was probably the worst part for me. But other than that, we had a lot of fun.
What was your favorite moment with the team? We can talk about both years. Honestly, I know you said last year y'all kind of took for granted, but give us some behind the scenes scoops that we didn't get to see for real. While y'all were over there.
I'm gonna give you a high. I'm gonna give you a high and a low, but the low is a funny low. So the high was definitely just being able to pop the confetti, and they're popping gold confetti on us, and we're standing on the podium. This is it's just crazy. And we're playing different competition than we did last year, because last year was America, so we're playing against South America. But this year we went across the ocean. We're playing against France, Spain, Canada was there again. So all really, really good teams. A lot of them are going to play basketball in America if they're not already playing pro against. The thing for me is we're playing against girls that play against our Skylar Diggins and people that play overseas, and it's crazy. We're playing against our pros. It's crazy. But I think that definitely was our high moment, was just knowing that we did a lot of hard. It was hard. Playing overseas is hard. And you're not with your family basically at all. We got 2 family times throughout the whole thing. A lot of people, parents didn't even go, but I think they kind of gave us a taste of this is what overseas is like. And it kind of is whoa, this is hard. It's mentally hard, and you're still having you're supposed to be performing. So you have to perform well as long as doing the whole mental thing. So it's definitely hard. But I would say the other thing for me was the time change and the food. So we first got to Spain. It's a 9-hour difference from me. So I was in the roommate with Brea, who's also my teammate. and literally every team I play for is my teammate. So we're in the room and like, it's time to go to sleep. And like, we slept on the plane. Like they're trying to like, oh, okay, get your sleep schedule. So we all slept like when they told us to sleep. So we get there and it's like 12 o'clock. And I'm like, bro, like Brea's sleeping and I'm up. I am up. Like
I swear that sleep on the plane never counts. Like I sleep on every plane ride, but it doesn't do anything
what I'm saying,
for you.
but like
Could never.
I didn't sleep for like 48 hours, 2 hours.
Oh man.
So I end up getting a cold and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way. Everything was fine. But I come downstairs and my trainer's like, are you okay? Like eyes are like bloodshot. I barely can talk. Like it was like, okay, I have to adapt because there's no way I can finish with no sleep. So I end up taking melatonin every single night. And it was just,
adjusting's hard.
Because before the plane, I took melatonin and I was asleep because the plane like got delayed. So I'm sleeping and everyone else is up, like taking pictures of me because I can't keep my eyes open. Like, it hit before we got on the plane. So like, I was like, okay. So I was like, Mom, I need melatonin. I need to be able to knock out because I cannot stay up anymore. Like there's no way. I was ready to go to sleep, like in practice. Like it was bad, but it was a fun journey. So I'm not complaining. It's all part of what I remember.
That's all a part of the story. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, listen, people don't talk about adjusting enough, especially when you got to go play. Because like you're adjusting, you got to play, you got to get up and go. But, I got to talk a little bit about, because I know you had some funny memories with your teammates in the hotel and whatnot, whatever. You got to tell me the funny story. Give me one. Come on.
A funny memory okay, well, we have like a lot of inside jokes. So like, I would say Hannah Hidalgo and Madison Booker were roommates. And Hannah's really, really quiet. And so we're trying to open her up. We're trying to get her. And like halfway through the trip in Hungary, like she starts talking like a lot. And so we're like, bro, what the heck? And so we end up coming to the hall. We hear like screaming. And basically all the teams are on one floor because we had like 7 in one hotel, 7 in the other hotel. So like Argentina's on our floor, France and Korea. So like Korea's rooms are like in between our rooms. So it's like everyone's mixed in. So we're like, bro, who is yelling? We go and Hannah has Madison Booker in a headlock and Brea is like half under both of them. And it was just like, if you would have been on our whole journey, like, like Hannah did not talk at all. So it was like really, really funny to like see them interacting with each other. It was really cool to like see how everyone got out of their shell. Cause at the beginning, everyone's like, oh, we don't know each other type stuff. But being able to see everyone like argue and like be like we're sisters the whole time it was like really cool to like make those lifetime friendships that you're going to know these people forever, probably going to play on another USA team together. So it was really cool to see them maybe even play college together. So it was cool to see everybody kind of gel and like you see like who got close with who. It was really, I think that was the most fun part for me.
That's super dope. And it's funny because like you're like the fourth or fifth Team USA player that's told me that like they made their best friends via Team USA. Just like it kind of inherently happens just because you guys are together all the time and like getting to spend such quality time. But now you talk about these teams, you're playing like, with the best of the best, right? Like it's the country. Talk about making those teams because like that's a whole nother process in and of itself. Like you got like 30 girls, you're all in Colorado. It's like the best competition you're going to see, in the country.
Yeah. So where again, USA trials, we're by ourselves. We have to get up by ourselves. We have to eat by ourselves, like basically on some college type of stuff. So it's also mentally hard. Like when you don't make a shot, it's like, oh my God, I didn't make the team. But like everyone goes through a slump or something throughout the trials. So the trials is really, we 2-a-days, wake up in the morning, take a break and work out again. So it's like your body's tired. You just have to find a way to mentally push through because these are your dreams that you're trying to accomplish. And it feels like it goes by like this. And so like the last day, it's just like your heart's beating fast. Like you're trying to count who comes back and who looks sad and like I'm a W. So it's like, I'm at the end of the alphabet. Me and Juju are at the end of the alphabet right by each other. And it's just like, bro, like it's like for me, it's before I play a basketball game, I get adrenaline rush, but it's like a good adrenaline rush. When I ran track, it was a bad adrenaline rush. It was like you're sick to your stomach. That's how I feel every time we're about to announce the team. And I can't describe it. It's really not a good feeling until they tell you that you made the team. And then you're like, okay, now I can like cry, like happy tears. But before that, it's very nerve-wracking and it's like you're gonna throw up.
I can only imagine. I remember those days in the bullpen with track. I can feel you on that. It's like, I'm not ready.
I ran track in high school for 1 year. I made it to state in 300 hurdles. Halfway through the season, I started hurdles. And before I ran, I was in the blocks literally crying, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is not for me.
I was the one that always got the false starts because I'm so nervous. Like before they even let the gun go, I'm like, oh shit. Like that was me every time. Like, yeah, hated it.
Oh, no, I hear that. And like, just to take us back a little bit, because like, you know, we're talking Team USA, but like, let's talk Jada basketball, man. Like, how did you kind of get into this game? And like, how did you first fall in love with it? Because I feel like there's always a moment where you realize, you know, this is for me. This is like my game.
Yeah, I wish I had like a really like cool like testimonial. I could tell you like, oh, I started playing basketball here, but for me, it was really just like my mom always had like a whole bunch of toys around, like let me pick basically, and I always just picked up the small little basketball. And there's a picture of me. I was like probably 2, holding this little ball, and I never put it down. And it was like, I actually like this. And then I used to shoot on like the little Tykes like basketball hoop, and then like my family used to take me to the basketball courts when we lived in Arizona, and it was just like I really liked this. And so I ended up moving back to Kansas City. And I was playing on a YMCA team, and we couldn't steal the ball. And I was like, well, this is just stupid. Like, this isn't basketball. I'm watching Kobe and MJ battle it out, but I can't steal the ball from her. She can't dribble. So I'm like, Mom, like, what? They end up kicking me out of the girls' league, and like, you need to go play with boys. Like, this is not. So I ended up playing with boys. Probably the best thing I ever did. It probably made me like, it's probably where I got my grit from. I battled against older boys all growing up. They're like, oh, you can't hoop, you're a girl, but it was probably the best thing I did. It was like, I met some of my best guy friends, and like, we still watch each other now. It's like, oh, I remember playing with you back in the day. I had 2 pigtails and like bows in my hair. And just, that's probably like when I was like, okay, like I really want to do this. And like, even my mom will say like, I think that's kind of what gave her grit and what made her like keep going. Cause everyone doubted me as a 6-year-old girl playing on a boys team. And so for me, that was like, yeah, this is for me. And then ever since then, I just always been in the gym. I just fell in love with it. It was something fun for me to do. And it gave me something to fall back on. Cause like everybody goes through family issues and stuff. So it's like, for me, this is how I escape. Cause I'm not the type of person like talk about my problems. So like basketball is really like my diary for real.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Basketball is my diary. I got to put that on the vision board.
That's got to be
like that's got to be on our post-it board that doesn't exist yet. That's going to exist at some point. We're going to have a post-it board. That's a good one. I love that. I'd love to hear that.
So,
yep.
Oh, go ahead, Cam.
Go for it. No, go for it, Jay.
You talked a little bit about track, but like, obviously you started playing basketball at a young age, but was that always it? Or did you like kind of dibble and dabble in a bunch of sports, you know, your entire like sports or athletic career? Or like, when did you know like, all right, I'm done playing everything else. Like I'm only focusing on basketball.
Yeah, I actually never played any other sport until I got to high school. I wanted to play softball like somewhere within like middle school years, but my mom was like, no. She was like, you should play, but it was like, right. Cause like basketball back then was like all year round AAU because we didn't have like school ball because we were so young. So it was like all year we're traveling. And so she was like, okay, well, you have to miss these tournaments and you have to stop playing basketball at this time. Cause my mom, single mom, like I had a sister, I had an older sister. So she was like, you either play this and Jordan does this, or you just stick with basketball. I was like, oh, I'm not giving up basketball. This is just for fun. Like, no. But yeah, I never really actually played anything until high school. It was kind of fun to like not have like the pressure of like, oh, that's Jada Williams. Like, you were just running. Just run. Yeah. You don't have to be good at it. Just run.
And it's a good way to get your energy and like get your speed up. You know, it helps your basketball at the end of the day.
I was in the best shape of my life.
Yeah, for sure. Now, it's not a fun sport for everybody, but you definitely like.
But I like running when it's not for punishments. Like I'll run. Like it wasn't, the running part was, and my best friends all ran track. So
okay.
Like, yeah, it was a fun thing where because none of my friends like, well, I have a swimmer best friend and a basketball best friend, but like my swimmer best friend, we never get to like do like sports together. So it was like, okay, let's go. So we got to run track, and like the meets were the running the races is not what I remember. It was like,
it's the track meets
and like sitting under the tents, being there till 12 o'clock, watching the 4x4 is like my best memories.
Yeah, that's true. I always say, I'm like, I don't know how people run track when like I see running as a punishment, but I can definitely agree. Like I didn't care. I mean, the actual events probably lasted less than 30 seconds. It was all like underneath the tents, like eating, cracking jokes. Like, yeah, those were definitely great memories.
Yeah, the moments in between.
Yeah. And then like, I love watching track. So it was like, I got to be around all the time. Like Masai Russell, Sydney McLaughlin. Those are like oh my gosh,
Masai's from back home. She used to run with Glenarden when I was running track.
Okay, so
I was never as fast. Yeah, I was never as fast as her at all. But
okay, so you're my DMV. I get the picture now. I know her little brother. We used to hoop together. So
okay, yeah.
But Jay, how fast were you though?
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, because like I started running track my 8th grade year going into high school because I broke my arm. And Marta, that played with Stanford, played on my team in AAU with Fairfax Star. She broke my arm in tryouts. Yeah, shout out to you, Marta. But that's the only reason why I started running track. So I didn't even care about it. Like I'm just out here because I need something to do. AAU is not existent right now. But I actually wasn't that bad. Like, I think back then I might have ran like a 101, 102 in the 400, which like not that bad. They run like 50s and I was just out there having fun. So it was cool with me. But I was that person in the bullpen. They're like, everybody's nervous. They're like, how fast are you? I'm like, I'm slow as hell. And then they're like,
I'm not that good.
I will never forget. We were about to run the 400 and this girl, like everybody's talking trash. This girl's like, oh my God, I'm so slow. Like I run like a 2-minute 400. And we're looking at her like, all right, so she don't know how this goes. Like, that's unrealistic. Like, now we know you're lying. Like, you're fast as shit. You have to be. Like, what? Yeah. 2 minutes? Bruh. She still had another 200 meters to go when we finished. I was like, yeah, she actually wasn't lying. Like, this is nuts. It was so embarrassing. My only goal in running track was not to get clapped in. Like, that was it. As long as I wasn't last place, I'm like, cool. This is a win in my book. Yeah.
So we gotta go Jayani versus Jada on the track field.
Okay, I'm a 300 hurdler. That's about it. So
I will trip over hurdles.
Hurdle? Okay,
yeah,
hurdles are different.
She's different.
I actually surprised a lot of people. Like halfway through, I started halfway through the season because my mom was like, "You're not running hurdles," and I was like, "Please, they want me to run hurdles. They don't have a hurdler." So I ended up like. There's a like it was a times in Kansas City was like I was literally the number 1 time in Kansas City after like my 3rd race. I had ended like there's a video of me like I was in 3rd coming around the last 100 meters and I just took off like it's a gut race. Hurdles, any 400 hurdles, 300 is a gut race. Like you have to be in shape, but you have to have guts too because it is hard.
It is hard.
I wanted to cry after everything and I was not feeling it. It was just like this is a lot.
Yeah, but well, I mean, you got to talk about footwork when it comes to hurdles. There's a lot of like what you kind of prep. So how did that almost help you? Because I was about to, go into a lot of your training, your process from your time, in Kansas City before you went out to LA. A lot of it, you focused so much on your footwork and so much on handles. How did that like kind of almost translate? And why was like with your trainer in Kansas City, was that like part of your game so important to you as you were developing?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think I was just doing like crazy moves 24/7 because I would do it in the game. But like we did a lot of fundamentals, a lot of mic and drill, a lot of pivots, a lot of like using the cone, which pivot, like a lot of reverse pivot. Like we did a lot of fundamentals before I even started doing between the legs in a workout. It was always basics. And that's the part like nobody wants to see that. So why am I going to post something that nobody wants to see? You don't need to see me do mic and drill. That's easy. So it's like we started a lot with the basics and a lot of people will think I was just doing crazy moves all the time. But like that was at the end of my workouts when I'm having fun. So I think that's the part that nobody really knows is that I did a lot of fundamentals. And that's kind of how you have to set a base. It's not like you just jump from chapter 1 to chapter 7. You got to go all in between. So I feel like it's a build up for sure. But it's all part of the process now.
And how do you think you're going to apply that in college now? Like kind of looking forward for you, like because I feel like we talk about it all the time. Fundamentals are key. You got to have those, right? That's done and done. But when you have that extra flair to your game, it brings energy to what you're doing on the floor. It brings energy to your teammates and it brings energy to ultimately like your team as a whole, right? So like, how do you want to apply a lot of the stuff that you learned already, to that next level?
Yeah. So we're still stacking bricks. So we were at the Arizona practice actually doing the same pivot drills. And these girls are 20 years old. So it's like everything still moves on to the next level. It's not like you restart, but it's just like being able to pick up your pace and like being able to, as you go on about the game, it's about mental. It's about when you do what, when's the right time to do this. And for me, my thing is like energy always has to be there. It doesn't matter if you're playing good, bad, or what. Like I'm the person that brings like the energy to the team. And it's always been like that. It's not like a burden, but it's just something that I like to bring. So there's a different type of fire about me that's like, I love the game and I play with a lot of passion, but you can see it carries throughout my teammates. And I think as like, even like starting Country Day, like I was nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, they're not going to respect me. They're not going to let me run my role. But by the end of the season, everyone knew what our role was. Everyone knew that like no bad energy, because bad energy is toxic. Like everybody, any sports team can tell you bad energy is toxic. Yeah. We just didn't have that. And so I feel like now moving on to the next level is just, I can keep building on that and keep bringing that to the team. Even as a freshman, like I feel like I can bring that to the team. And leadership is just, there's never too much leadership. There's never too much energy. So like if everyone brings it, then that's how you win a natty, really.
Yeah, definitely.
And you talk about energy. How would you describe your game in 3 words?
Passionate. I don't need 3 words. I need 1. Passionate.
Ooh, okay.
That was easy. Period.
Period.
Passionate. I think that describes it to a T.
That's dope. And kind of where did that passion, like, it's so funny because so many different players have passion in different ways, right? But like exactly what we've seen for years from you is that like your passion like exudes to your teammates and your team, and like you're able, like, you know, where does that come from? Is that something that you've always had like in your family or in your life growing up that kind of like has, you know, transferred into basketball?
Yeah, I think my whole family is really, really competitive. Like, we don't even play board games anymore because the family function is going to be ruined because somebody's going to be mad at somebody. Yeah. So like everyone's really competitive. So I think I just carried over as my years. But like people would be so mad at me. Like when I used to scream and 1, like I used to get texts all the time. I still do. Like last year I got a text for saying and 1. But like to me, that's my passion. That's something I'll take that text. Like you're not taking away my passion and my love for the game because boys can scream and step over each other, but we can't. Like I feel like that's to me is like that's putting on for the game. And now like it trickles down. I'm seeing like second graders yelling and 1. That's what I love to see. Like you still have to have passion for the game. So you gotta pick your poison sometimes.
That's what makes the game fun for sure. Yeah. If I see a little 5-year-old on the court, like, yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time to go crazy.
Yeah. No, right. The energy brings what makes the game fun. And like, there's always been, and I get what you're saying. Like, I don't know why there's always been this like level of disrespect toward the women's game where like, well, men can do it, but like if a woman does it, it's disrespectful, or if it's this or it's that. It's like, nah, it's just the game. It is what it is. We're competitive. We're hungry. That's what you're there to do at the end of the day. And so, you know, kind of talking a little bit off the court stuff, what has been so cool about your kind of timing, right, and coming up is that this, you know, new thing, NIL exists. You're able to, you know, work with different brands. I know you're working with Spalding. So how has that opportunity kind of allowed you to build your business off the court, and why has that been so important to you?
I think we're setting, like all the athletes right now are setting ourselves up for like the future. Like right now, some people might be driving new cars and stuff, but for me, it's just like when I get out of college, I'm already going to have my platform set out and I don't have to worry about that. And I think that's important because right now we couldn't have a job, or like we couldn't go work like most like high schoolers do. So it's like we have to be able to set ourselves up somehow. So it's been really a blessing. And like on the flip side, we're making a lot of connections for other things way more than basketball. Like, yeah, that's our platform, but basketball is not just what we do. Like, it's a part of us, but I'm not just Jada, the basketball player. I'm Jada off the court as well. I have other things I bring to the table in life. And so I think it's important that like everyone's starting to find their purpose more than just, oh, I'm a hooper. Like you can have way more labels than just that. And I think NIL is kind of helping with that because like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing a lip gloss commercial or I'm doing a sneaker commercial. Like It's super cool to like tap into different sides of you and see like different sides of people is what everybody wants. Everybody wants to see, oh, what does Jada do outside of basketball? What kind of car Jada drive? What kind of shoe? What kind of socks do Jada wear? You know what I'm saying? It's like tapping into the other side of that everybody else wants to see.
Yeah, no, that's super dope.
And we got to talk about it. I mean, you committed to UCLA at first. Monday, you just announced your commitment to Arizona. Walk us through that process. I mean, like what kind of made you make that decision to switch, and you know, just kind of what that whole entire journey has been like for you?
Yeah, so I was kind of having some doubts, and like UCLA is in a great school, a great campus, a great team, great coaching staff. But for me, I have to do what's best for me at some point. And so prayers, a lot of talks with my family, more prayers, just trying to find the right path and where I'm supposed to be at. And there's no shade, there's no hate. It's all love, really. Like everybody wants like a salty story of like, what's the tea? There's no tea. Like I'm just doing what's best for me. And Arizona is a better fit for me, a better style of play. Me and my family feel like I can bring more to the table if I'm at Arizona, having a different backing, having a different side of passion about me, you know. And I feel like Arizona, whole coaching staff, the team, a lot of my best friends go there. So it's just like, it's a better environment for me. Like I said, there's no tea story, there's no drama. It's all love. I'm just being Jada, really. And I'm going to smile because I'm really, really excited. Like it was a big jump for me. I was kind of scared, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get some backlash. But like at the end of the day, I still have to do what's best for me. And like, that's kind of what I've been doing the last year and a half, last 2 years is just following God's path for me and like making sure that like my family's like, I talk to my family a lot about stuff because that's my circle. My circle is really small, but at the same time, like they're like, Jada, it's up to you. Are you okay with this type stuff? So it's like, I know who I am. And I know like without any social media, I'd still be me. So I feel like that's the part, like the backlash doesn't bother me. None of that bothers me. As long as I'm happy and I'm super excited about going and I walk on campus and I have a smile on my face and I get that little tingly feeling in my heart, I know I'm supposed to be.
No,
Yeah, we could just see you light up as soon as you started talking about it. So that's what's most important, honestly, is you doing what's best for you and just being able to be happy. Because, I mean, we don't have basketball forever. You have to, make the most of the opportunities and the time that you have playing the game. So that's super important.
Yeah, and talking about the Arizona team, I mean, you've got Paris Clark, you've got Maya Nagy, so many players that have, shown out in high school and now they're about to, do the same at the next level. What excites you the most about this team? And not only that, but playing under Adia Barnes. I mean, an incredible coach, a Black woman in the space that's really been making a name for herself since the jump. Like she's really an all-around legend. So what excites you the most about playing under this team?
Definitely the players. These are my best friends. I've known Paris, I don't know how long, like 6th grade maybe. Me and Paris, that's one of my best friends of all time. Lamaya Hilton, she's from Canada. Like we have people from everywhere. And a lot of people are really sleeping on Caitlin Gilbert right now, but she's a go-getter. Like everybody's some dogs. And I feel like we're all playing behind a coach that's a dog. Like everybody knows she's a dog. She went on a Final Four run that was like, nobody would have called that at all. And so now it's just like, you see what she did in such a small period of time. Like, imagine what she does when she has 7 years under her belt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and actually the assistant coach was I want to say my third offer, Erin Grant, when she was at Texas Tech. That was like my third offer. So it's like, we still have these connections, but also Brea's coming with me. That's my daughter. That's my sister at this point. Our families are really close. That's my road dog. Like I said, we play on every team at this point. Like if it's not me, then it's Brea and we're together. Like it's kind of a package duo, but I think the good thing about that was Brea didn't like, a lot of people are going to like try to put that on Brea, like, oh, Brea was recruiting, but nah, Brea was like, go where you go. Like, we're going to be sisters no matter what. And I told her the same thing when we were both going on the visits together, was like, go where you want to go. And I'm supporting you because that's my dog no matter what. It's not about what team we play on, if we have the same jersey on or not. But it's even better that you got the same jersey on because that duo is crazy.
Hey.
Yeah, like playing behind Adia is passion. You have to be able to have passion to play behind her. And I think we're all going in as some dogs. And I think we're trying to make a statement. We're trying to have the #1 recruiting class 2023. So we're still got some work to do on that, but stay tuned with that. And I'm just really excited to be able to play behind actually all the coaches are some dogs. Everybody has good energy. Practices are really good. I think basketball carries at Arizona. It's everyone's at the games. Like it's a college town. So everyone's going to be packed in there. I'm really cool with the boys team as well. So like 2023s that are committed in on the boys team are really close. So we're all going to be supporting each other. I think we're about to shock the world, literally.
Hey, we love to hear
on my
that.
story, Shake the Room. We're shaking the room right now. So
we're shaking the room.
I'm super excited to show everybody what we can do.
That's dope. That's super dope. And talking Paris Clark, a queen of New York, we're all based out of New York. Not only that, but where she showed out? At Dykeman at Slam Summer Classic, multiple years.
No, and that's my dog. So I'm trying to be behind. I'm following her footsteps right now.
Yeah. Next up, you're up. So talk to me a little bit about Slam Summer Classic. You ready? You're going to go play one of the most historic courts in New York City, Rucker Park. What you trying to bring out to New York and get that crowd going for?
Man, I think everyone that's committed to play right now has a different little swag to them. Everybody talks, they talk. But I think it's going to be turned up. I think everybody going to be coming at each other, but it's all fun. It's all love. Like everybody going to be smiling. I feel like the crowd going to love us because we got a good group, a humble group, but everybody got their little stuff in their pocket that's going to be pulled out. So I'm excited to see what happens. Really just hang out with all my friends again and just have fun, really.
That's dope. No, we love it. Hey, listen, New York's always a turn moment. We say it. It's where Hoopers come to play, show out against one another and have a good time while doing it. We're just really celebrating all of y'all. So I'm excited to have you as a part of this. But before we let you go, we're going to play a little game of Ton of Wars. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to give you two WNBA players. And you're going to tell us like Who out of the two is your pick? And more about like, it's not like who's better. It's more about like what like, you know, what style, what flow you kind of ride with. So
All right. Who has more drip, basically?
yeah, basically drip wars, tunnel wars. You know what it is. All right. We'll start with the first one. This one's a hard one already. So it's Skylar Diggins-Smith versus Shatori Walker-Kimbrough.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to go with Sky Diggs.
Why so?
Well, that's like my big sister. So to me, that's a loyalty thing. But
Okay.
Okay, not just that though. She come with heat like she different. Like not everybody can dress like Scotty. I know I can't dress like that, but she pulls off a lot of crazy stuff. But just like that's her. Everybody knows she got that little twist to her. So it's like, all right, you hard. Like she put stuff together. I'm like, bro, how? But
like, get on a runway.
She been on a whole new level this season. Like whole new level.
The Puma collabs are really giving what they're supposed to get.
Yeah, for sure.
She's been eating for sure.
Sure.
Okay, next up we got Dee Richards and Dejanay Carrington.
Both my dogs. Okay,
They gonna be mad if they hear this one. They like, now she putting us up against each
Be
other.
mad at me. All right, I'm gonna go with Didi. I'm gonna go with Didi because it's more my style. It's more like a streetwear girly type, but not too girly. But you could throw the girly in there. Like you can put some heels on with some cargo pants type.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Didi because that's more my style. But
I like that.
Dejanay still be eating. She's a San Diego legend, so you know I gotta give her props too.
Give her props. Okay.
I think they both do that girly like tomboy. I like that.
This
to
was
me,
a hard
about
one,
range.
yeah.
It's a hard one. It's all about range.
They're very similar though. They're very similar. So
I know that.
I'm just have to go with Didi. I gotta pick one.
That's fair. All right. Next up, we got another hard one. All right, Diamond DeShields versus Destiny Henderson.
Oh, Henny, no doubt. Henny.
Oh, that one was. She was quick with that one.
Henny never. I love Diamond. I think Diamond DeShields on-court drip is different. The Oakleys really they give, but Henny's gonna give it every time. Henny never misses.
Henny never misses. She really is. She really is with it. She really is.
I gotta go with Henny.
And it's her first year in the game, and she
first year literally.
Put on.
Final Four, bro. I was talking to her. I'm like, yo, like, can you help me? Like, I need some style points, you know.
She really could be a stylist because Diamond's been styling people too. Like Henny could definitely go into that for sure.
She got her own brand, so it's like really she be rocking her own clothes. I really like that.
That's different. When you walk through the tunnel rocking your own shit, that's a whole different. That's a whole different
game.
Whole different flex.
No, 100%. And we'll finish it off with this last one: is Jewel Lloyd versus Benai Jelani.
Oh, these are hard, bro.
Everyone's showing out.
I'm gonna go with Jewel Lloyd. Everybody's stepping. I really love the tunnel fits right now, but I gotta go with Jewel Lloyd for sure.
I hear that. She's got the calm fits. Like people don't really. She's like underrated.
Humble, super humble.
It's calm, but it's speaking at the same time.
We have
like chill, but still a big deal. That's what she gives.
It's chill, but it's still a big deal. No, I like that. Well, Jada, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you in New York in just a few weeks. And hey, I'm ready for the next chapter. Arizona, senior year. You got a message to the city of New York right before you show out here?
Be ready.
Be ready. Y'all heard it here first.
You heard it here first. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jada. Enjoy the week, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Peace.